Raise your hand if you have ever been personally victimized by having to teach a student how to write a paragraph. Paragraph writing is the worst, but why? That's what we're going to dig into today, because we at the Not So Wimpy teacher team, we know that paragraph writing is, for some reason, the bane of every writing teacher's existence. And that's our job, to find the things that you don't like and find ways to make them more enjoyable, easier, and just successful in your classrooms. My name's Caroline and I'm a part of the Not So Wimpy teacher team, and I'm really excited to talk with you today about paragraph writing. It's time that we make sure your students aren't putting your name in their burn book about your paragraph writing lesson. Bonus points in the comments if you can tell me what movie that's from. Let's think about first when we're teaching paragraph writing. I don't know about you, but that's how I start my year. And as a third grade teacher, I actually start with sentence writing, and then we quickly build to paragraph writing. But why? Why is that what we start with? Paragraphs are boring. Paragraphs are incredibly boring. You're doing it at a time in your year when you don't know your students yet, and your students don't really know you, and they don't really know that you love teaching writing, and you definitely know that they don't love doing writing. So why do we choose to start our instructional year as writing teachers with the thing they dislike? We are suggesting that you flip that script completely. Instead of starting with paragraph writing, start by just building their interest. Just get them writing. I tell my students, the best thing you can do for me today is put that pencil on paper. That's the message you want to be sending to your writers. Now, your students are writing, they're feeling comfortable, they're feeling confident, you've introduced all those pieces of your writer's workshop. So instead of teaching the structure of a paragraph that we all know and loathe, a paragraph is 5 sentences, maybe 7 sentences. Every sentence starts with a capital letter and ends with a punctuation mark. Make sure you indent. Why is that the structure that we teach? When we dig into our writing standards, no matter where you're teaching, I don't know anywhere that's saying, and every student should be able to write a 5 to 7 sentence paragraph. If we look at really realistic examples of writing in our world and the writing that our students are going to encounter, the paragraphs are based on the structure of the text itself. That's how we should be teaching paragraphs to our students. I love to start with a personal narrative at the beginning of the year. Students are confident and comfortable. They can write about something that's happened to them, but paragraphs in a personal narrative are decided on by dialogue. So some paragraphs in a personal narrative are just 2 sentences. So if we take that time at the beginning of the year and introduce that idea of 5 to 7 sentences, and then promptly turn around and do a great lesson on dialogue and say every new person speaking gets a new paragraph, that's directly going against what we just focused on with them as writers. And I can imagine that's so confusing for our young writers. So instead of that traditional paragraph structure that we want to push, let's think about teaching paragraphs in the mode of writing that you're working in. So when you're working on that personal narrative, push that idea of paragraphs as being where our dialogue breaks happen, or a really descriptive piece of text within that narrative. So when a student is describing the setting, that's where they're going to group those details together within their sentences. For an informational text, your paragraphs are decided upon by your ideas. For my informational text about alligators, I'm definitely going to want to put my facts about their diet in one paragraph, and then their facts about their habitat in another paragraph. That's another great way you can introduce paragraphs to your students through that mode. Same goes for persuasive writing. You're going to group your reasons together in categories that make sense. By introducing our paragraph writing to students in the way they're going to be seeing those paragraphs in both reading and writing throughout the year, it makes it so much more relatable for them and so much less painful for them. I did bring a great resource for you today, and it's one that I absolutely love and use on a daily planning basis. I want you guys to run to my description box and grab the Not So Wimpy Teacher How to Teach Writing Guide. I found this online years ago before I was ever a part of the Not So Wimpy teacher team, and it opened a wormhole. Oh my goodness, I was like, ooh, I don't like how I teach writing. I want some resources. I printed this. My copy at school is in sheet protectors, That is how much I value this writing guide, because this guide has everything you could need as a writing teacher. It takes all of those modes of writing and really breaks down the expectations for students as writers. And it helps you plan those lessons. To teach a personal narrative, what lessons are you going to need to cover in that instruction? The link to sign up to get this free writing guide is down in the description. I really want to encourage you to go get it because it is such a useful tool when you're planning your writing instruction. It's okay if we are changing how we do writing instruction. It's okay if you're moving away from those lessons that for years and years and years are how we've shaped our writing instruction. Now is the time to empower your writers and engage your writers. That's what we want to encourage you to do here at Not So Wimpy Teacher. So I hope as you move forward, focus less on the 5 to 7 sentence paragraph. It's okay. Really dive into what's going to make them great writers. Find those successes and really try and teach your paragraphs in the mode of writing you're focused on. A 5 to 7 sentence paragraph is great, but you know what's better? A fantastic personal narrative. I really hope you enjoyed our video today, and I hope you're able to snag some resources from my links down below. And as always, we hope you have a not so wimpy day.